The heart attack is amazing. It's not the easiest episode of The Golden Girls to watch, but I have nothing but praise for it. This is the 10th episode of the first season. It's directed by Jim Drake, and there will be spoilers as I go through various things that happen, but just as a point of praise for the whole episode, it's the perfect blend of emotion and comedy. And this is not the first time I've seen this with The Golden Girls. Something I've mentioned before is that they do a really great job of discussing really serious emotional subjects, but with just enough comedy to keep it light. And this is a perfect example of this. It starts up with everybody tidying up after a party, and it's obviously a very light atmosphere. But because I knew what this was about, I was on edge. I was waiting for something to happen. And then, relatively quickly, it does happen. Sophia sits down and she's got chest pain or pain around her heart, and she describes it as a bubble. And Rose definitely keeps some comedy here as she talks about a bubble and kind of doesn't want to say exactly what she's talking about. She's talking about burping. But the pain gets worse, and Dorothy begins to worry. So they call for a doctor, panicking that she's having a heart attack. Sophia lies down, and we have a lot of really moving and meaningful conversations, mostly between Sophia and Dorothy, and she starts to tell Dorothy things that she'd want her to know before she dies, and also starts to wonder what the death will be like, and also wonders if, or complains that she didn't have time to get her hair done. So we do have some kind of flippant comments in there, but it's always betwixt some more serious, moving discussions, and I just think it's so well done. And the other girls are talking about various aspects of death, both wondering what it will be like, and also Rose talking about how her husband died, which was really emotional to listen to, but obviously very well done. And we do still have some funny moments with Sophia at one end of the sofa, Rose at the other, rambling on and on about goodness knows what, and it's very entertaining, but always emotional. It's a little bit different to watch it now because I know that there are several seasons after this, but at the same time, it's maybe more emotional than it would have been when it aired because obviously the cast is no longer with us, and that kind of adds an extra emotional layer to it. Eventually, the doctor arrives. Sophia explains what she ate at the doctor's request, and I think it became pretty clear almost immediately as the other girls started listing off all of these things that Sophia had eaten throughout the day, that it wasn't a heart attack, it was connected to what she ate. And at that point, there's this element of relief, and I think that worked very well. But also, I think maybe a tiny part of me, how do I phrase this? A tiny part of me kind of wishes she'd had a TIA, a mini heart attack, because it would have been a good way to show that these are the warning signs. It is important to seek help, and this is how to go about it. Obviously, I don't wish for the character to have had a TIA or any other kind of heart attack, but it would have been a good opportunity to address that and indicate the warning signs. Whereas there is a slight chance that somebody might have similar experiences and then think, well, actually, I ate a lot. It's just food. I won't call for help. So there is the potential that the episode could do more harm than good, but hopefully not. But within the context of the episode, obviously I was glad Sophia was okay. And it is a warning about not overindulging, at least too often. And then we have, apart from Sophia, the other three, Dorothy, Blanche, and Rose, sit around the table at the end, and they're having a lovely discussion that I really enjoyed and really needed to hear about how you shouldn't restrict yourself or avoid things you love because you could die tomorrow. One of my favourite quotes is from Dorothy, and it's, "Why starve myself to the point of thinness if I know I could die tomorrow?" And I think it's a really strong statement and something that we're constantly being reminded of. But I think most of us struggle to actually put into action, and it's always nice to be reminded of that we could all die. Hopefully not all of us at the same time, but we could die tomorrow for many different reasons. So it's all about balance. Don't overdo it like Sophia did, but also don't avoid everything you love because you never know what's going to happen. And I think the episode is fantastic. Yes, as I said, I think it would have been a really good opportunity to discuss the warning signs of a TIA and what to do about that, or even, a more severe heart attack. they didn't go down that route. And as a fan of Sophia, I'm glad they didn't. But it's a bit of a missed opportunity. But nevertheless, the episode is still really great. Really thoroughly enjoyed it. It's not as easy to watch as the previous 9 episodes, but in a good way, in a very powerful way. And at the end of the day, really, I have nothing but praise for it.